Welcome to Morning Signs, your daily moment of connection with the stars. Today we are going to explore a very special sign, one of the most fascinating of the zodiac, Taurus. Perhaps you are wondering the reason for this particular choice. The answer is simple. Taurus has a unique aura, a magnetism that attracts and intrigues. There is something unique about the way Taurians face life, and this is what we will discover together. Get ready to know the secrets that surround this earth sign, ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty. Taurus are known for their stability, their sensuality, and yes, their persistence. Throughout this video, we will reveal 12 surprising aspects that define the Taurus personality. But before we begin this exploration, I invite you to repeat with me the mantra of Taurus. I allow myself to enjoy the beauty and stability of life with the strength and sweetness of Taurus. Let this affirmation resonate with you, and if you feel like it, share in the comments how the mantra impacts you. In the next few minutes, we will unravel the layers of this very interesting sign. Get ready for an eye-opening journey through the nooks and crannies of the Taurus soul. Shall we get started? In the previous chapter, we started our journey through Taurus. Now, let's look at how Taurus people relate to time. There is an expression that seems to have been tailor-made for them, each thing in its own time. For Taurus, this phrase is not just a popular saying, but a way of life. It is common to notice that Taurus do not rush. They appreciate the process, every step, every detail. Imagine an important project at work. While other signs may feel pressured to deliver quickly, Taurus will take the time to plan, organize, and execute each phase carefully. Or think of a relevant decision, such as buying a property. Taurus will research thoroughly, visit several options, weigh the pros and cons before taking a final action. This slower cadence can sometimes be interpreted as excessive slowness or even procrastination. But is it fair to label it like that? The truth is that, behind this apparent delay, lies a deep desire for perfection and a natural caution to avoid mistakes. Taurus values solidity, and to build something solid, it takes time. It is important to distinguish the virtue of patience from the trap of procrastination. Taurus patience is a force when directed towards the achievement of long-term goals. However, if this inclination turns into constant procrastination, it can become a hindrance. To harmonize this relationship with time, Taurians can benefit from tools such as planning and prioritization. Setting clear goals and breaking down big tasks into smaller steps can help you keep the momentum going without losing your natural rhythm. After all, Taurus knows that the best things in life mature slowly. Continuing our exploration of Taurus, let's now analyze a peculiar characteristic: the search for advice. Taurians value different points of view and often seek other people's opinions before making decisions. This seeking advice demonstrates a thirst for knowledge and a willingness to consider diverse perspectives. In financial situations, for example, a Taurus can consult experts, read articles, and talk to experienced friends before investing or making any significant moves. In the love field, when faced with a dilemma, Taurus is likely to seek the opinion of close friends or family members he trusts. This inclination to seek external opinions can arise from a certain insecurity or fear of making mistakes. Taurus people value security and stability, and seeking advice may seem like a way to minimize risks and ensure better decisions. However, here lies an interesting Taurus paradox. Despite valuing advice, Taurus has a strong intuition and an inner conviction that in the end usually prevails. It's as if the search for advice is a validation process, a way of weighing different angles before following one's own path. To use advice constructively, Tauruses can learn to filter opinions, weigh different points of view, and above all, rely on their own inner compass. After all, Taurus wisdom lies in the ability to balance the search for external knowledge with the firmness of one's own intuition. We will talk about Taurus firmness below. We talk about the wisdom of Taurus and his inner firmness. This firmness is also manifested in another striking characteristic: the aversion to receiving orders. Taurus highly value individual freedom and react negatively when they feel that their autonomy is being threatened. It is not a question of gratuitous insubordination, but rather of a deep need to conduct one's actions according to one's own convictions. Imagine an overly controlling work environment with micromanagement and constant impositions. A Taurus in this scenario is likely to feel suffocated and unmotivated. Instead of following orders without question, he will tend to resist, even if discreetly. This resistance can manifest itself as slowness in the execution of imposed tasks, constant questioning about the decisions of others, or even an emotional distance from the environment. This repulsion to impositions is born of the Taurus desire to have control over their own destiny. They do not enjoy being pressured or coerced, preferring to act at their own pace and according to their own criteria. This characteristic can be interpreted as stubbornness, but in essence, it is a defense of your individuality and your way of doing things. It is important to distinguish constructive rebellion from unproductive resistance. Taurus's rebellion can be positive when directed to defend your values and principles, to fight for what you believe in. However, if this aversion to orders becomes a barrier to collaboration and teamwork, it can become an obstacle. To express their autonomy effectively, Taurians can learn to communicate their needs clearly and negotiate solutions that respect their limits. Instead of simply passively resisting, the ideal is to seek dialogue and find ways to reconcile your desires with external demands. After all, Taurus autonomy flourishes when exercised with responsibility and mutual respect. And speaking of firmness and resistance, we come to a crucial point in Taurus's analysis, the famous Taurus stubbornness. This characteristic is perhaps one of the best known and most debated of the sign. But after all, is Taurus's stubbornness more of a strength or a weakness? The answer, as in many aspects of life, lies in balance and perspective. Stubbornness can be defined as an opinion or course of action, even in the face of opposition or contrary evidence. In Taurus, this persistence manifests itself in several ways. It could be the determination to achieve a goal, the constancy in your relationships, or the difficulty in changing your mind once you have formed a conviction. In certain situations, Taurus stubbornness proves to be an admirable virtue. It is this persistence that allows Taurus to overcome obstacles, stay focused on their purposes, and achieve challenging goals. When a Taurus decides something, he hardly gives up, and this determination can be the key to success in several areas of life. Think about long-term projects, goals that require discipline and perseverance. In these cases, Taurus's stubbornness becomes a powerful engine. However, the same stubbornness that drives can also become an obstacle. Inflexibility, resistance to change, and difficulty admitting mistakes are less positive facets of this trait. In situations that demand adaptation, openness to new ideas or concessions, excessive stubbornness can generate conflicts and prevent progress. The root of Taurus stubbornness lies in your conviction and your desire for security. Changing your mind or giving up a plan can generate insecurity and instability, sensations that Taurus naturally avoids. But in order to evolve and thrive, it's critical to learn to balance firmness with flexibility. The secret for Taurus is to direct their stubbornness towards constructive purposes. Use this energy to pursue valuable goals, defend your principles, and stay true to your values, without, however, closing yourself off from new perspectives or resisting necessary changes. Stubbornness, when well managed, can be one of Taurus's greatest assets. We exploit Taurus's firmness and stubbornness, qualities that reflect a remarkable inner strength. Now, let's analyze how this force manifests itself in your social relations. How does Taurus behave in groups? Is he a social butterfly, or does he prefer the tranquility of solitude? Taurus sociability is somewhat peculiar. Although Tauruses enjoy the company of other people, they are not typically extroverts in the classic sense of the word. They don't seek out large crowds or grandiose social events. Instead, Taurus feels more comfortable in smaller, intimate social circles. Meetings with close friends, small group dinners, deep and meaningful conversations. These are the social settings that really appeal to Taurus. They value the quality of interactions over quantity. He prefers to have a few true friends than a vast network of superficial acquaintances. This preference for smaller groups stems from the Taurus need for genuine connection and intimacy. In very busy environments or with many people, Taurus can feel overwhelmed and uncomfortable. They need time and space to build trusting relationships and to feel truly at ease. It is important to note that Taurus also needs moments of solitude to recharge their energies. Introspection and contact with oneself are essential for Taurus well-being. These moments of stillness allow Taurus to reconnect with their essence, reflect on their thoughts and feelings, and prepare for more meaningful social interactions. To balance sociability with the need for introspection, Tauruses can learn to set healthy boundaries, choose social activities that truly bring them pleasure, and make time for themselves in their routine. Finding this balance is essential for Taurus to enjoy social life, without giving up their inner peace and their need for solitude. We explore Taurus's unique sociability, this mix of appreciation for company and need for introspection. Now, let's enter an even more intimate territory. Love in the Taurus universe. How does Taurus surrender to this powerful feeling? For Taurus, love is synonymous with security and constancy. In relationships, Taurus people look for partners who offer a safe haven, someone they can fully trust. Loyalty is a core value, a foundation on which to build lasting bonds. Betrayal and fickleness are deeply repulsive to Taurus, who craves solid and true relationships. Sensuality also occupies a prominent place in the way Taurus experiences love. Ruled by Venus, physical pleasure and appreciation of the senses are very important. Displays of affection through touch, gifts that please the senses, moments shared in beautiful and comfortable environments. All this is part of the Taurus love language. Romance for Taurus manifests itself in concrete gestures, in pleasurable sensory experiences shared in two. Despite all this surrender and intensity, Taurus may face some challenges in the love field. Jealousy and possessiveness can appear as shadows in relationships, a reflection of the fear of losing the stability and security that you value so much. Resistance to change can also manifest itself, making it difficult to adapt to new phases of the relationship or to necessary transformations. To build healthy and fulfilling love relationships, Taurus needs to cultivate open and sincere communication, expressing their feelings and needs clearly. It is also essential to respect the individuality of the partner, understanding that security does not mean control. And above all, allow yourself to show affection and affection in a spontaneous way, celebrating the beauty and pleasure that love can provide. We talk about the love and sensuality of Taurus. Now let's direct our gaze to another important aspect in Taurus life, the relationship with money. What does money mean to Taurus? How does he handle finances? For Taurus, money represents much more than just purchasing power. It symbolizes security, stability, and the possibility of enjoying a comfortable life. The search for financial security is a constant in the Taurus journey, driven by the desire to build a peaceful future free of material worries. Taurus's financial habits tend to be prudent and conservative. Long-term savings and investment are common practices, aiming to ensure a financial cushion for the future. However, Taurus also appreciates the pleasures of life and does not hesitate to spend on what provides them with comfort and well-being. A good restaurant, quality clothes, art objects, or items that beautify the home. These are examples of expenses that Taurus considers investments in quality of life. The search for financial security can sometimes turn into excessive attachment to money. Difficulty in sharing or reluctance to part with material possessions can arise as challenges. The fear of financial instability can generate anxiety and even prevent Taurus from fully enjoying material achievements. To balance the search for security with a healthy relationship with money, Taurus can benefit from conscious financial planning and the practice of generosity, setting clear financial goals, creating a realistic budget, and setting aside a portion of resources to help others are attitudes that promote balance. After all, money should be a means to achieving happiness and well-being, not an end in itself. We explore Taurus's relationship with money and the search for material security. Now let's connect with an even more intrinsic aspect of the Taurus soul, the appreciation for beauty. How does Taurus perceive and relate to beauty? For Taurus, beauty is not just an abstract concept, but rather a deep and essential sensory experience. Aesthetic appreciation manifests itself in various forms, from the contemplation of nature to the delight in works of art and cultural manifestations. Beauty for Taurus is present in the vibrant colors of a flowering garden, in the harmonious melody of a song, in the soft texture of a fabric, in the delicious aroma of a perfume. The connection with nature is particularly strong in Taurus. Gardening, outdoor walks, moments of relaxation in natural environments, these activities provide pleasure and well-being. Nature is a source of inspiration, serenity, and renewal for Taurus, who finds in natural beauty a refuge and food for the soul. Sensory pleasure also plays a crucial role in Taurus aesthetic appreciation. The refined taste, the keen sense of smell, the sensitive touch, all the senses are instruments of perception and delight. Cooking, massage, the appreciation of pleasant textures and aromas are ways to nourish the body and soul through sensory pleasure. To cultivate beauty in their life, Taurus can invest in aesthetically pleasing environments, decorate the house with objects they appreciate, spend time in contact with nature, and engage in activities that stimulate the senses. Beauty for Taurus is a path to happiness, food for the soul, and a constant source of pleasure and inspiration. We explore Taurus' appreciation for beauty and sensory pleasure. Now let's address a more challenging aspect of Taurus's journey: resistance to change and difficulty in letting go. While stability is a strength, life is a constant stream of transformations, and the ability to adapt is critical to growth. For Taurus, the change can be disconcerting and even threatening. Routine, predictability, and familiarity bring comfort and security, and any change in this scenario can generate apprehension. In the professional environment, for example, a restructuring in the company or a change of function may be met with resistance. In relationships, the idea of breaking a cycle or adapting to new dynamics can be difficult to accept. Even small changes in the daily routine can generate discomfort. This resistance to change has deep roots in the Taurus search for security and aversion to the unknown. The fear of losing control, insecurity in the face of the new, and stubbornness in maintaining the status quo are factors that contribute to this difficulty. The comfort zone, as limiting as it may be, offers an illusory sense of protection, and Taurus can cling to it tightly. The difficulty in letting go is also a significant challenge. Whether it's people, objects, or situations, Taurus creates strong and lasting bonds. Breaking these bonds can be painful and time-consuming. Attachment to the past, memories, and established routines can prevent Taurus from moving forward and embracing new opportunities. To deal with change and detachment in a healthier way, Taurus can cultivate acceptance, understanding that transformation is an inevitable part of existence. Developing flexibility, learning to adapt to new circumstances, and finding the positive side in change is essential. Focusing on the future, visualizing the possibilities and gains that new experiences can bring, helps to smooth the transition. Detachment does not have to be seen as a loss, but rather as the opening of space for the new to flourish. We look at the challenges that Taurus faces. Now, it's time to celebrate the gifts and talents that make this sign so special. Let's highlight the Taurus superpowers: stability, loyalty, and sensuality. Taurus stability is an anchor in a world in constant motion. Both emotionally and financially, Taurus seeks and offers solidity. This ability to build firm foundations, to remain calm in times of turbulence, and to convey security to those around you is a true gift. In times of uncertainty, the presence of Taurus is a beacon of confidence and balance. Loyalty is another undeniable superpower. In relationships of all kinds, Taurus gives himself with sincerity and commitment. Friends, family, and love partners find in Taurus a safe haven, someone they can trust unconditionally. This loyalty is manifested in constant support, in presence in difficult times, and in fidelity to the bonds built. Taurus sensuality is a charm that permeates life and relationships. The ability to appreciate the pleasures of life, to connect with the world through the senses, and to enjoy beauty in its many forms is a source of joy and well-being. In love life, this sensuality translates into passion, affection, and a deep and fulfilling physical connection. Taurians can be proud of their unique qualities. The stability they offer, the loyalty they dedicate, and the sensuality they radiate are valuable gifts, which enrich their lives and the lives of those around them. By embracing their superpowers, Taurus can build an existence filled with meaning, happiness, and harmony. We have reached the end of our exploration of the bullfighting universe. We unravel secrets, analyze characteristics, and celebrate the unique qualities of this earth sign. We revisit the introduction to Taurus's earthly charm, his peculiar relationship with time, the search for advice, the aversion to orders, and the famous stubbornness. We explore their selective sociability, the experience of love with loyalty and sensuality, the search for financial security, and the innate appreciation for beauty. Finally, we face the challenges of resistance to change and celebrate the superpowers of stability, loyalty, and sensuality. The final message is an invitation for Tauruses to embrace their essence in its entirety, with all its nuances, strengths, and challenges. Stubbornness can be transformed into persistence, resistance to change into thoughtful caution, and attachment into valuing ties. Stability becomes the basis for growth, loyalty, the foundation of lasting relationships, and sensuality, the celebration of life in its fullness. Now, we invite you, who have followed this journey, to share your experiences with Taurus in the comments. If you are a Taurus, how do you identify with these characteristics? If you know any Taurus, what do you love most about this sign? Your participation is very important to enrich our conversation and build a community of astrology lovers. We greatly appreciate your company in another episode of Morning Signs. We hope that this immersion in the Taurus universe has been revealing and inspiring. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss any content, and explore other videos in our series. See you on the next astrological journey.